guys, welcome back to TezMania TV. Today I am upsizing my septum from 6 to 7 millimeters. Here is a 6 and a 7 next to each other just to compare. And to upsize I'm using this really ugly pincher. So my plan is to stretch with the pincher and then switch to the horseshoe ring. This is what I'm wearing in my nose right now, a taped 6 millimeter ring. I'm going to be using some baby oil to lube things up, but first I am going to clean my nose properly with some hot water. Lubing up the pincher and removing the 6 millimeter horseshoe ring. The tape is used to create sizes in between the jewelry sizes, so I got to like 6.5 with the help of that tape. And then I knew I was gonna struggle a little bit to get the 7 millimeters in, but I was like this for a couple of minutes, just struggling, and I was like, really, it's gonna be this hard? But then I measured this pink fucker and I realized that this is an 8 millimeter pincher, not a 7 millimeter one, which is annoying, so I'm just gonna use that 7 millimeter horseshoe ring instead. And I didn't think that was gonna work, but it literally popped right in, just like that. Look how happy I am. So yeah, I was able to do that. I was not expecting that, yeah. So I'm very happy and kind of shocked here. So here's what it looks like. It's big and thick and I love it. Here's to compare the old 6 millimeter one compared to the 7 millimeter one. So there is a clear size difference there, which I love. So this thing, 8 millimeters, yeah, just kind of ruined it for me. But you know what? 7 millimeters was my original goal size. But then I really like wearing silicone eyelets in my septum, and for some reason they don't make those in 7 millimeters. So I have actually decided to try upsizing to 8 millimeters, so I have some more jewelry on order. But this is where we're at right now. Okay, so 4 days after recording the upsizing, I went back to 6 millimeters again, and I'm gonna tell you why. And I decided to post this video of the stretching or upsizing anyway, because I know you guys like seeing that process. 7 millimeters was my original goal size back when I started stretching, and I thought the 7 millimeter looked great in my nose. I even ordered jewelry from Crazy Factory that still hasn't arrived. One in size 7 in case I wanted to stick with this, and then like 4 in size 8 millimeters in case I wanted to upsize to 8 millimeters. But the reason I went back to 6 is 3 reasons. Number 1, 7 millimeters is, however great looking size, it is impossible to find jewelry in that size. I've been able to find 2 kinds of jewelry. One is a horseshoe ring like this one, and the other is a ball closure ring, that is. So that's the one that I have on order. And that's not enough. Like, I need to be able to wear a silicone eyelet in my nose for when I want to put smaller jewelry in, for when I don't want to have anything show, like just wear the silicone eyelet, like for work, for instance, or when I'm sick and snotty. And there are no silicone eyelets in 7 millimeters. There is a jump from 6 millimeters up to 8 millimeters when it comes to piercing jewelry. It's a jump from 2 to 0 gauge if you use that size, but I'm in Europe, so I use millimeters. And technically 7 millimeters would be a 1 gauge, but there are no jewelry in that size. It's impossible to find, and I can't afford to have stuff custom made just for me. You guys know that I buy all my shit from Crazy Factory because they're cheap. So, you know, what are you going to do? And I need to be able to change the jewelry. So that was number 1. Reason number 2 is it really started hurting after a couple of days. The first 2 days were fine, but then the jewelry kept pushing on my nose down here. The tip was so sensitive to the touch. And I know this is the case like the couple of days after having gone up a size. This is nothing new, but this was like the worst pain I have ever gone through when it comes to stretching my nose. My entire nose was red. It was super, super warm. The entire piece of jewelry was hot, as if there was an infection going on in there. Just something wasn't right. It just felt super uncomfortable. When I lied down, it hurt so bad. Like, it's just, I have to be able to lay down, like, obviously. And yeah, it's just so annoying. And then the third reason is if I wanted to go up to 8 millimeters, which is a size where there's lots of jewelry available, of course, 8 millimeters is a big ass hole to have in your nose. And the thicker the jewelry becomes, the larger it becomes as well. And the jewelry are already quite big. Like, this almost hits the top of my lip. If I were to buy this in 8mm thickness, it automatically also gets 4mm larger in diameter. That's half a centimeter. That is a lot. So that would be like a huge, really heavy ring hanging off, like touching my lip and everything. It just feels too big. And again, I'd have to get customized stuff if I wanted it to be smaller. So I decided to go back to 6mm because it is a nice size. I was able to get rid of any pain that I had when I started stretching from 5 to 6. I'm hoping it'll go back to that because right now my nose is still very tender to the touch because of all that shit with the 7mm. So yeah, I decided to downsize again and it feels pretty damn good. It was starting to get a little crowded in my nose from that 7mm and it was actually starting to change the shape of my nose tip a little bit, which I don't want. I like my nose the way it looks, so it was just, I don't know, it was difficult to clean my nose because it was very big, and yeah, so I went down to 6 again. And the first couple of days after going down a size, you feel like it's so small now and blah blah blah. But I just have to think about how it was when I went from 5 to 6, and the 6 felt huge, and I have loved the 6mm one for as long as I've worn it, so I'm happy to be back at 6, and my plan now is to stay there. So I don't know, the stuff that I have on order for 7 and 8mm, if I'm going to return it, if I'm going to sell it. The CBR rings I can wear through these, so those I might keep anyway, but yeah. But I will probably not go up anymore in my nose, so this will be my final size. But like I said, I decided to show you guys the whole stretching up to 7 part anyway, because I know you like to see that. So that's yeah, the end of the video. And don't be sad, because I'm not sad. I'm okay. It would have been fun to have 7, but honestly it felt a little big, and wasn't enough jewelry, and it wasn't comfortable. So I am happy at 6mm. That is it for this video. Thank you guys for watching, and remember, do no harm but take no shit. I'll see you next time.